So today, let us go through the support vector machines. So the support vector machine is the supervised learning method in the machine learning for the purpose of classification and regression. So support vector machine is a linear model for the classification and regression. It solves the linear and nonlinear problems and works well for many practical problems. So the basic idea of SVM is simple. The algorithm, it creates a line or a hyperplane which separates the data into classes. SVM is the mathematically rigorous machine learning technique to build a linear binary classifier. So if it's a high dimensional data, it creates a hyperplane to slice the data accurately. Its main applications are identifying the spam email for the face detection, text classification, and the bioinformatics. So now consider these data points here. So let us consider the example of, say you have been receiving the emails which are spam. You want to just bifurcate or slice clearly between the emails that are spam and the emails that are not spam. So all these filled dots, let us consider these as the spam emails. These open dots, let us consider these as the not spam emails. All right, how do we classify this? We need a linear classifier in between, right? We need a line which bifurcates or which clearly slices between the spam email and the not spam email. So how would you do this? We use SVM in order to classify binarily between the data set what we have. So now we could be having the multiple linear classifiers like this. See, even this line, it classifies the data. Even this line classifies the data. Okay, multiple lines classifies the data. But which line would classify the best is the question what we have here. So now let us consider this is the line which best classifies the data set, or this is the line which best slices the data set into two parts. So we have to choose the margin of the linear classifier that is maximally far away from any data point. We have to choose the line, or we have to choose the margin such that it is not touching upon any of the data point. All right. So if you choose any of the data point here, say this one is touching other points. If you consider this line, it is touching upon two other lines. All right. So only this line is the one which is not touching any of the data point. That's the reason why we consider this as the best one. The maximum margin linear classifier is the linear classifier with the maximum margin. All right. So now, what do we mean by maximizing the margin? These are the terms that you have to remember in the SVM. So first thing what you have to remember in SVM is that it's the supervised learning algorithm, which is the binary classifier. Okay, only the data it can split or it can slice or classify into two parts. The line in the middle is called the optimal hyperplane, since that is the line which is maximally far from the data points what we have. And the lines that we have in the sides of the hyperplane are known as the gutters. And the gap between the gutters is known as the maximum margin. And the points that we have that fall on these gutters are known as the support vectors. These support vectors, they help in finalizing the hyperplane. All right, so that's the reason these are called the support vectors. So if you delete these support vectors, then the orientation of the hyperplane itself may change. Then the other data points would become the support vectors. So support vectors are the important, these are the important terms that we use in the SVM algorithm. Suppose in the support vector machine, in order to understand what exactly is the algorithm, suppose the training data of the endpoints is X and Y. So this is the data that we considered, right? This is the data set that we considered. So say this is X and this is Y, and this Y would have just two values, that is -1 and +1. Okay, and the X would corresponds to the vectors of the points that you have. The Y would be binary class value of 1 or -1. So for the example of the spam email what we are considering, so it can be either spam email or not spam email, and the X corresponds to the different data points that we have. Now the classifier hyperplane, which is there, the optimal hyperplane what we have, it would satisfy the equation Wx plus b, where this W is nothing but the weighted vector and b is the intercept what you have. All right, so that is the, we are considering it as the slope that you had in the regression with Wx plus b, and the value -1 indicates one class and the value +1 indicates the other class. So the margins what we have, they're defined by, these are the margins that we have, right? So this margin, this is the optimal hyperplane. So which according to this equation would have the would be Wx plus b, and these margins would be Wx plus b is equal to 1 and Wx plus b is equal to -1. These are the margins that you have which coincide with the support vector. All right. So now, so what exactly we mean by the margin? You have the hyperplane which is not touching upon any of the data points, and this margins, they specify how far your hyperplane is from the data points, how far it is. So if the margin is bigger, it means that the hyperplane what you have drawn is very good. All right. So this support vector, they define the hyperplane. If say if these two data points were not there, then this would be the support vector. Then the margin would be still more bigger. All right. So it supports the hyperplane what you draw. Okay. Then the width of the margin is given by 2 by absolute value of the W. Next, the next important concept what we have in SVM is the kernel method. So what we mean by the kernel method is that when you have the data which you're not able to classify linearly, or if you're not able to classify it with the straight line, then you have to convert this linearly separable data into the higher dimension, which means along with the x-axis and the y-axis what we have, we add one more dimension known as the z-axis. Okay, that's what we are doing here. We are migrating it from the two-dimensional data into more number of k-dimensional data. All right, so the data now, it becomes clearly separable. So this is the hyperplane what we have. Till now, we had drawn the line in order to slice the data into two parts, but over here we have migrated this from the two-dimensional data to the high-dimensional data. Then that would become the decision surface, or the hyperplane would be able to clearly slice the data, or it can classify the data. So how do you migrate from the two-dimension to the three-dimension is done using the kernel trick. Okay, so kernel trick, it involves computing and working with the inner products of only relevant pairs of data in the feature space. So you have a two-dimensional feature space and you create the product. So sometimes it so happens that one way is that we just calculate the square values, that is z square is equal to x square plus y square. So this z square is nothing but the squared sum of the squares of x value and the y value, that would become your z value. So that is one way of migrating from the lower dimension to the higher dimension. All right. So in the similar way, there would be many other kernel tricks. So it involves the computing and the working with the inner products of the relevant pairs of data. So with the kernel trick, you just come up with the fast way to do a potentially infinite computation by abstracting the several levels. It makes the computation of migration easier. So that's the kernel trick what we use. So which are the different kernel functions or the kernel tricks that we use? We use the linear function, non-linear function, polynomial function, radial basis function, and the sigmoid functions. So the kernel methods, they associate a weight to each feature and by considering its relevance to the achievement of the objective. All right. So, whichever feature is contributing more for the objective. What's the objective here? Slicing the data. So that is given more weight. All right. Or the abnormal situations. That is the data which is more crucial. Okay. So those are given the higher weights. Then the normal situations are given the lower weights. So just consider this example here. See, over here, so the data which lies here, this is the normal situation. Okay, this can be given the lower weight. But the data which are closer to the hyperplane, they're always confusing. Sometimes if the hyperplane is not good, they may end up in the other classification. So such data are considered abnormal and they are given more weight. All right. So that's what the kernel methods do. Okay. So these are the different kernel functions. So advantages of SVM, it works well even if the number of features are more than the number of instances. So when detecting the spam email or not, so which are the different features we consider? We consider the sender's name and the sender's list. Sometimes the recipient list is also verified if it is, if it is really very different. Okay, if it is just random, even the recipient list is sent, is checked along with that the time or the place from where it was sent, or maybe sometimes the IP address is also checked. Those are the features. So the number of instances need not be the same as the number of features. The features can be more than the instances. So SVM can be applied in such situations. Then when the optimal decision boundary is the non-linear curve, also the SVM creates the new boundary. So this is where we speak about migrating from the 2-dimension to the higher dimension. Next, it is conceptually easy to understand. So what did you mainly understand from SVM? SVM is the binary classifier. So your aim is to create a hyperplane which clearly distinguishes between the data sets, which clearly classifies the data set into +1 or -1. There should be some disadvantages. The data points must be defined by numeric values only, and it works only with the binary classification. You can't go for the multiple classifiers here. Then choosing the good kernel function, it's not easy. You have to think about which kernel function has to be used. Then the one which minimizes the amount of the calculations that are calculations of the computations that are needed when you are migrating from 2-dimension to the higher dimension. The training time is longer and it does not work well with the noise in the data. So these are the concepts of the SVM. Hope the video is